here for Board Game Geek TV at Spiel 2014. I'm sitting down again with Arakis Grus. How are you?
I'm fine.
Of Little Creations.
Nice to
and
see you
David
again.
Turtzi.
Hi,
How are you?
Very good.
You would just notice, which I think is worth mentioning now, that you dressed the part to come present Redacted.
Don't encourage him. He's never going to stop about this.
All right, so just give us a taste of what to expect if we wanted to play Redacted.
Redacted is you could call it a deduction game, but it's a game of paranoia and suspicion and deep distrust of people like him when they play. And it's a game that really encapsulates the spirit of 50s, 60s, 70s spy movies. It inspired both of us to create the mechanisms for this game. Well, more like the theme on the side, but
yes.
We have Meet You to thank for the original idea. I Meet You, wish you could be here. And then Kate to help, Kathleen Nimmerfro to thank for all of the beautiful graphics she started doing. And you'll see some of the other arts by D'Amico in the illustrations. And Dave has been the person I've been working the most with to develop Redacted into what it is today.
Right?
Go ahead.
Redacted is about spies infiltrating the embassy. What we see here is the floor map of the embassy. It's 3 floors, each with 9 rooms. The rooms are connected with doors, and the floors are connected through a stairway. On your turn, you get to move from any room to any other room by tracing a path through these connections. And once you get there, you can use the room, you can use your items, which are red cards in your hand. All this in service of the mission. The mission is to find the enemy files. For example, this is the Soviet files. And deliver it to your own helicopter. For example, this is the British helicopter, and it goes on the helipad if called from the radio room. Or you can block the other team from doing the same thing by blowing up both of their helicopters with a little thing we like to call the bomb. The problem is the spies are so deep undercover that you don't even know who your teammate is. At the beginning
Security protocols.
Yes, and deniability.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the game, everybody receives a loyalty card. This is, for example, a Soviet or a British loyalty card, and they keep it hidden. It's never explicitly revealed throughout the game. Things get interesting when during movement you enter a room where there is somebody else. That is when you have to interact. Interaction is done through a hand of 5 cards, 3 of which signify
Yeah, we get
wish to
mean
attack.
pretty fast.
And the other 2, this means I trust you, I'm letting my guard down. If you still attack me, there's nothing I can do about it. But if you don't, then I can help you. I can give you an item, I can heal you, or generally I'm just signifying that please don't hit me next time because I'd like to trust you and I'd like you to trust me. This is called the neutral. This means that I have no intentions of attacking you right now. We're just passing each other by. And every now and then somebody calls for violence, and this is when these cards happen. If both of us plays a weapon, then they are resolved in a rock, paper, scissors like fashion.
Which is so clearly denoted on the corner there.
Brass knuckles beats knife, knife beats garrote, and garrote beats brass knuckles, exactly like in real life.
Anybody who's infiltrated knows, you know.
Obviously.
And you can see that what it is in the middle, and what it beats is on top. Yeah.
Easy.
If there was a fight, the current player must stop moving, so it's the way to stop him from getting wherever he wants to be by standing in his way and fighting him. And if there was a winner, then he gets to take a reward on the other player. This can be limiting his movement up to 2 rooms per turn by injuring him. This can be acquiring an item from him by stealing one of his red cards. Or it can be interrogation, and that is where one of the core ideas of the game lies. The person being interrogated takes one of his available weapons, his neutral card and his loyalty, shuffles it together.
They all have the same back.
All have the same back.
Right? So
hand it over to the interrogator, who shuffles it again.
just in case you're tricky that way.
Look at one card and one card only. Don't show it to anybody else. Then shuffle it again, and then hand it back. Now you
So-
might have seen my loyalty, but I don't know whether you've seen my loyalty or not. And this gives you the license to lie. You can claim that you're on my team.
This is happening a lot in games with
No,
you.
I
I'm
didn't
guessing.
hear that one before.
I got it today.
I was saving it.
Yes. You can claim to be on my team. You can just lie back and smile in a very smug fashion, or you can just set the other players on me, claiming that I'm the enemy. You can beg, you can threaten, or you can just use the friendly card to trick others into believing that you're actually up to some good.
Basically, the player who is the most overt and transparent loses. You need to be able to try to signal to someone that they're with them, perhaps, while not signaling to the others, to the other players that in fact you are. Because if they figure out that you're partners,
Then they just figured out their own teammates as
exactly.
well.
So you could be hostile to someone you actually want to help a little bit, just enough
Ah,
to
and
see
be sneaky.
suspicion.
Yep.
Exactly.
Exactly. The game ends when somebody enters the helicopter. If he has the right file, he wins.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, then he loses. Teams win or lose together. The game also ends if both helicopters of one side blows up, and then the other team wins. The basic scenario plays with 4 or 6 players, 2 teams of 2 or 2 teams of 3. But we have alternative setups with slightly different teams and slightly different victory conditions. For 3 players, an asymmetric game of 2 versus 1, where you don't know whether you're one of the 2 or the 1.
For the solo.
And then there is the 5-player game where the 2 teams of 2 are playing the same game, but there's a 5th guy, the Interpol agent, running around trying to arrest them.
It plays exactly the same way, except he has an additional option. We can show him.
We can show him, yes.
Where he can arrest one of the players. He's looking for the players
There
with
he
this.
is.
That's the Interpol guy.
Yeah, cool sunglasses, of course, and very smart one-liners. And he's looking for the players with the blood stain. They have been identified as secret agents, and they have blood in their hands. And if he manages to arrest both of them, one from each team, he wins.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's quite a brain burner. So.
Yes, and we also have a 2-player game, which is a semi-co-op, where the spies infiltrate the embassy at night, and they're trying to sneak around, trying to accomplish different side missions, like escort the VIP, find the microfilm, decode the floppy, these things. And these score them points with their bosses, and if anybody gets to 7 points, they win alone.
You have the alert tech.
I have the alert deck, yes, sorry.
Some of the rooms do have a use in the game. So, for
Right.
example, the X-ray room allows you to, when a player crosses an X-ray door, to look at all their items. Or the computer room, when somebody does use a computerized location, you can hack them. It works similar to the interrogation, except it's 1 out of 2.
And we
It's
know-
the neutral and the loyalty.
We know one of these is for calling the helicopter. as
The
well.
radio room,
Radio
exactly.
room.
Right? You can find items at the storage rooms.
You can look at other people fighting from the security HQ, get more weapons from the armory, heal yourself.
You can remind the
Yes.
ambassadors that the ambassador that the ball is about to start and it's time for his toast. So he grabs all the players, and then it's a safe room, lots of witnesses. The guards come in and escort you down to listen to the ambassador talk.
How long do you think a complete game? Let's say we're in the middle with 4 players. How long do you
4
think it
players,
would take?
once you're past your first game, the usual 4-player game takes 40 to 60 minutes. 6 players, it's a bit longer because it takes more to figure out who your teammates are, and there's a bit more fighting because the more players share the same
Running
number of
around,
rooms.
yeah.
A 2-player game takes around 30 minutes, but as I said, it's a different game. It's a semi-co-op where you try to score points, or you can win together if you find all the files and tied at points. But you can also lose together in a 2-player game because anything you do reveals an alert card.
Okay, because you're
This is-
walking around at night.
This is basically the noise you make. The yellow number is the threshold, the level the alarm is set to. And as you do that, we reveal the cards, and as soon as the sum of the white numbers reaches or exceeds the yellow number, a guard is placed into the marked room. Guard is a non-player figure.
Grab an extra one.
Yeah. And basically what they do is they keep, you place cards next to them that are objectives that allow you to do those missions. And they have their own separate weapons deck and they fight back. And you have to beat them.
And if you beat them, they go off. If they beat you, you lose an item. And if you don't send them off, and 4 guards are on the board, and the 5th one is about to be placed, you both lose.
Yeah.
Well, nothing like sending us off on a Friday night with a nice dose of spy and paranoia.
Yeah. Perfect.
And I thank you both for giving us a nice quick look at
you.
Redacted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.